Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Immigration Fridays. I am Prashanthi, Reddy, your host, and we're here again to explore the ever-evolving landscape of US immigration. What are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about H1B registration for 2026 fiscal year. So USCIS announced on February 5th that it would open the registration process for H1B cap cases for the season 2026. So the date for opening of the registration would be March 7th. That's just 15 days from now. What has changed this year? Let's look into that with reference to registration. The most important change is that the fee has increased to $215 from $10. Also, there are two other changes that happened as of last year. They were new organizational accounts. These new organizational accounts allow you to file, not only to file registrations online, but also there are many more features which allow multiple people to work on the account at the same time. And there's also a feature where it can detect duplicates. What is the third change as of last year? Also, the lottery system became a beneficiary-centric process, which means that the lottery will be selected based on the passport ID of the person. So even if the beneficiary files for 10 registrations, they will get only one pick at the lottery. Let's now discuss how do you file a registration. Let's first talk about what are the different types of accounts and which account to use to file the registration. Now, when you go to the USCIS online portal, you will see an account for applicant, petitioner, requester. This account should not be used. Individuals using this type of accounts usually use them to prepare applications, petitions, or other benefit requests. You can't use this for a H1B registration. What account? You should use the organizational account. It was formerly called the registrant account. This is the correct account to use if you're a petitioner in order to create a registration or to participate in a H1B registration process which your attorney is taking care of. There's also an attorney registration account. This is used only by attorneys. Let's go into a few more tips on what you should do when you're filing a registration. What you should do is avoid duplicate entries. As I just said earlier, the new organizational online account has a way of detecting duplicate entries. But however, the organizational account can only detect duplicate entries between the draft and the cases that were already submitted. Say you have two drafts or you have a duplicate entry within the draft, then the system will not be able to detect a duplicate. In order to do that, the organizational system will allow you, or rather has a tool where you can download the entire draft into a CVS file, and you can check for duplicate entries there. If you discover that you or your representative submitted one or more registrations for the same person, and if the registration window is still open, then you can go into your account and delete the extra submission. But if you discover that the duplication happened but the registration is closed, then there is no way for you to correct the error. What will happen is all registrations will be removed for that particular person, and that will not be put into the lottery. Let's look into what happens after registration. After you file a registration, there are certain statuses that appear on the USCIS online account. The first status is submitted. This shows that the registration has been submitted and is eligible for the lottery. The second is selected. This is after the lottery is done. If the registration was selected in the lottery, then the status changes to selected. If they don't get selected, then the status changes to not selected. But this, of course, you will not know until the end of the fiscal year, because USCIS might decide to do more than one lottery. Denied, duplicate registration. This is what it says it is. If there are multiple registrations, then it will be denied for that reason, and the status will show as denied duplicate registration. Invalidated failed payment. This again is if your payment has failed, even if shows submission state at one point, it can move to an invalidated failed payment state, because if you do a credit card submission and your bank doesn't accept the charge, then it's possible the case can get invalidated. Deleted. That is, if you have deleted your submission, say you have a duplicate submission, if you decided to delete it, you can delete your submission. Processing submissions. This is if your case is still being processed and the submission status has not yet come up. Sometimes USCIS takes up to 72 hours to process the case for the registration, so very important. Make sure you register well before the deadline. And that's it. That's a wrap for Immigration Fridays this week. We know immigration laws and processes can be very complex. If you need legal help or support in filing of your H1B registration for the upcoming CAP season, please do drop me an email, Prashanthi at reddyesq.com, or call us 212-354-1010. Thank you. Keep watching.